In part 2, Mick and I talk baseball. People want to know you and I grew up in Stratford together, right?
That's right.
And your dad was a baseball player and met your mom, right, in Stratford?
Yeah,
and,
that's right, yeah.
And then so basically Dad was a Southern Californian who moved to cold Stratford, Ontario. And then we played lots of sports, and we all grew up loving baseball. I stole your love of the Angels.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So that happened. Nowadays, you pretty much follow the Jays.
Jays are my team, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty true to the blue. I'm feeling blue.
I'm feeling blue. Now, whenever you and I get together, we normally get together once a year, especially go on a baseball trip.
Yes.
We talk about, you've often said to me how great it would be for a winter to be in Toronto.
Yeah.
And
It's, I just want to be part of it. I don't know. I can't predict how great it would be for the city, but I really am a sports fan, and I love, I'm not so much a statistic guy. I'm more interested in the drama and the beauty of the games. I've been in Toronto during the Olympics last year.
Yeah, like when they were in Vancouver, or do you mean London?
In Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver.
I remember when Crosby scored that goal, and I was watching it with some buddies. I actually leapt into a friend's arms and went on the street, and the streets were just packed with people, and the excitement and energy. I mean, I imagine it was like this all over Canada.
Sure. Yeah.
It was just electrified here in Toronto. The effect of that for like weeks after, I felt.
Yeah.
And it was just a really proud, happy feeling. I'm just the best good vibes, man. I'm a musician, right?
Yeah.
So I'm searching for good vibes, and I know that our teams are getting close here in Toronto. I just want to be a part of that. I don't know how soon it's going to be, but I can't predict. I can only hope.
We can only hope. Going back to 2002, I remember we were watching Team Canada then, if you remember that or not, but then I think we ended up we're in a gay bar, I believe, because that was the only bar that was open.
That's the only place we could get in.
Good to get in.
Everyone else was too packed.
Yeah, and then but all our friends were there. All our friends were there, and then we got in my car, which I had just got in a car accident, so we got this other car, I think it was a Mazda Protege or something, and we drove down Yonge Street.
It was a Mazda Protege 3.
we rode down Yonge Street, and our hands were out the windows and out the sunroof.
Yeah, it was like, well, you know what I'm saying? That was an amazing day. Electrified.
Yeah.
That's what sports can do. You can talk. There's people who say, I'm not too into sports, but the reality is, it does bring communities and cultures together, and people can relate to that, and it really is an exciting world, and people escape into that. And anyway, that was a perfect example of that day. And you know what I mean? If the Jays pulled it together, if maybe they didn't get injured, if we were all healthy, and maybe we got there this season, I just know the city would be pumped up.
Sure.
Same with the Leafs or the Raptors.
Yeah.
Probably more the Leafs, but anyway, let's not get into that.
The Leafs would bring the nuns out of the church, as they might say.
Yeah. That's exactly it, yeah.
But anyway, so your love of baseball goes further. Like, I remember when we went on this baseball trip to Washington, you were talking about a PBS documentary, Baseball.
Yes.
And I watched it afterwards. I don't know if you want to talk about it. Yeah, I watched it. That was amazing. So anybody out there should watch that.
Amazing?
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to touch on that a bit. I know you're a big Mickey Mantle fan growing up.
I was loosely named after him. That was my dad's favorite player, and I'd always hear him talking about the Mick. Yeah, he's featured in that series. That series is amazing. Anyone who has any sort of mild interest in baseball, you don't even really have to be into baseball. You should really watch that series. It's bound to make you fall in love with the game.
Yeah, it's about American life, really, and how baseball created.
Yeah. They drew
Yeah.
It's just really, really inspiring and heartbreaking. And anyway.
But he's such a strong man to go through all that, you know.
Yeah.
It took a lot out of him.
Yeah, and just I don't know. I guess we were talking about Mickey Mantle. Yeah.
No, but I mean, it doesn't matter if we're talking about Mickey or Jackie Robertson. We're talking about baseball. That's all.
Yeah. There's so much to the game, and there was one quote from that series that I remember, and someone was just talking about baseball, and you got like Bob Costas coming in, like just like sprinkling in like beautiful like poetic words about the game. There's all kinds of great people speaking, and there was one quote that was talking about baseball, and it was saying something like this: it was a conservative game, which it is, that is profoundly ahead of its time. It feels like we're always trying to catch up and understand it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so old school, and there's like such like the league is really like moralistic. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways, like really being on top of the steroids thing. You know, like other leagues aren't doing that, and it sort of ruined the game for a while, and people's thoughts about baseball players. But like, I don't know. At least they're on top of it, and they're trying to fix it.
Yeah.
And that's what baseball's known for, is sort of being ahead of the crowd, I think. And if you have the patience, and it really takes a lot of patience to get into that game, but I think once it pulls you in, it really is something that stays in your heart. I don't know.
Sure.
It's more than just an exciting kind of like bash of emotion. Baseball really kind of stays with you, I think, and shapes you as a person if you get into it. Anyway, I won't go on about it. Although I just did.
Well, we've been to a lot of parks. Okay, so do you have a favorite park you've been to?
That we've been to so far?
Well, that you've been to. I mean, we've been to a lot together, but I mean, you've also gone to a couple parks.
I've seen a few others.
Yeah.
I've seen a few others outside of your presence, but hopefully we get to see them all together.
Yeah, know? No, I
really love going with you. You know, we grew up learning about the game together, and every time we go somewhere, it's just sort of like takes me back to childhood. That's what.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I think with you and I and Scotty, I think our trip to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
I love PNC Field. It was just a beautiful field, beautiful backdrop.
Yeah,
you know?
that was a beautiful park, and it's so close to us. It's crazy it's just a beautiful place.
Yeah, and even just driving to these places, like. It's beautiful. It's actually quite a stunning country just south of us there. Where else have we been?
Well, we've been to Fenway. We've been to Comerica. We've both been to Anaheim. You've been to
Fenway was another pretty special experience. I should have mentioned that. That was just an obvious no-brainer as far as, you know, it's 100 years old this year. That's just historically, it's just meaningful to be there.
Yeah.
And I found the fans so far my favorite fans have been the Boston fans because they're really polite. I found.
Yeah, they all stuck in their seats too.
Respectful of the game, of the stadium, and like I keep telling people that like the concession stands at Fenway were empty because everyone was watching the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one was up there like horsing around, like they were like right into the game, quiet when they needed to be, and you know.
Loud when they needed to be. Yeah, no, it was that was a pure baseball experience. There's no question.
It was pure is a good choice of word. Yeah, that was amazing.
And we stopped by Cooperstown on the way there too, and that was a magical place too.
Yeah, it really sort of got us in the groove there for sure. Yeah, well, that was a great time. But I had to mention PNC. You know, that's a new ballpark, and I just think they did a wonderful job designing it. It's amazing. Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, like we started this baseball trip, the three of us, because your cousin Mark was in the majors at the time. And, and unfortunately, right now he's not in the majors. Hopefully, he returns. But that was a big reason why. I mean, your family has really encompassed the game. Like I think it stemmed from your grandfather and his love of the game too, right?
Yeah, it's a big part of our lives as Jacksons and TNs there, respectively. Yeah, we're all just really romantic about the game. I don't know how else to say it. There's a real reverence for the game. That's just how I know. That's just how I know life to be.
Sure.
You know, reverence for baseball. That's sort of that's just how I know it to be. So, yeah, I think the game sort of shapes a particular type of gentleman, and I think all of us in the family are sort of cut from the same
I mean, I think I remember you saying he even sponsored the Cucamonga Quakes for a while through his store. Am I right?
Yeah. They had a panel out in the outfield, Jackson Paint panel out there. The Cucamonga Quakes there in Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so
yeah, that's a great ballpark too. Anyway,
minor league parks. There's definitely some beautiful ones there too. So finishing this up, I'm assuming you've been watching baseball a lot. When you get a chance, do you have a team that right now you're cheering for heading into the playoffs next week?
Yeah, well, being from California, any team, from over there that's involved always excites me. I like San Francisco, and we have a great buddy. Let's give a shout out to Mikey Callan. That's his team, and so I support any team that any of my brothers are behind.
Yeah.
So San Francisco for sure. That's also, I just think it'd be great for the game of baseball. I love the game of baseball. You know what I mean? Like I'm not so true to any particular team other than the Blue Jays. I just really want the game to succeed. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think playoffs in San Francisco would be perfect.
And they won it a couple of years ago too, right? So
yeah, they won it a couple of years ago. Beautiful team betting there. That'd be great. I love them. I'm close to Detroit as well. It's just right around the corner from here. And that was our first baseball trip there. Was to Comerica, and that was amazing. Maybe if they're in the playoffs, maybe we can try to sneak over to Detroit.
Sneak over to see the game there.
That's another influence on me. Yeah, those are my two teams right now.
Yeah, and going back to our good old days, the Angels are only a couple games out.
Yeah.
Would you like to see them in there? I'm assuming you would.
Of course, yeah. I'd love to see the Angels there. Yeah, I guess
it's 2 games.
2 games back?
2 games back now.
2 games back at the wild card. Yeah, if they could make it in there, that'd be great.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Mick and I grew up. Like I stole the Angels from Mick, and in 2002 when they won the World Series, I remember sitting in a room. It was like a bedroom at that point because we didn't have a living room, and we jumped into one another's arms and like embraced and hugged and cried, and it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, that's there's a theme to the arm jumping. Yeah, I just jump into people's arms. I guess when I can't control myself. So I grew up big Angels fan just because whenever I'd go back to California, visit my grandparents, we'd always sneak over to a game or try to, and Anaheim happened to be the closest place. I just felt close to that team, and being interested in that team made me feel closer to my family.
Sure.
And so that was my team. And yeah, growing up with you, we were like family too. So I think it's just you got into it that way. And then as the years went on, I think you got a little more serious about the team. But they're still one of my teams. But since I've been in Toronto for 10 years, I've been downtown. Nothing even comes close to the Jays.
No.
Now,
Yeah.
I get to sneak over and see them as much as I can, and I just happen to know a lot more about Toronto than I do any other team.
Yeah, and that's what happens, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, go Angels.
Well, I mean, I remember growing up, and then you used to have a big Wally World picture, like a Wally Joyner poster on your wall. It was huge.
Yeah. Wally was the man back in those days.
Yes, he was.
Back in the 80s.
So.
I think I'd gone down and I saw him play, and I think it might have been his rookie year. And I know he had an amazing rookie year. They had sort of dubbed stadium there, and at that time there were still California Angels in Anaheim. They had dubbed the stadium Wally World.
Amazing.
I think the poster was a picture of him, and I think it said Wally World underneath it.
Yeah.
That I got there. So yeah, we love Wally.
We do.
I wonder what's he doing these days?
Yeah, I think he's he was the batting coach for the San Diego Padres for a while. I don't know if he's still.
Really?
He might be the head coach of the San Diego University. No, that's Tony Gwynn now. I don't know. He's in San Diego area. So
I know Lenny Dykstra owns a car wash.
Oh. So does Paul Coffey owns a car dealership.
Does he?
Just above Toronto here.
Oh.
So if you need a car.
Okay. Paul.
There you go. Anyways, before we wrap, Before we wrap this up, one question I asked Lester this week. We interviewed Lester McLean earlier.
Lester, yes.
Yes, you know Lester. We asked him who Toronto's best athlete is right now, and then who's going to be Toronto's best athlete in 5 years. So we gave him a couple of options. So I'll give you the options, all right?
Sure.
So right now, do you think the best athlete in Toronto is Batista? Is it Phil Kessel or Dion Phaneuf or Joffrey Lupul? Is it Bargnani? I think that's it. Is it out of those guys? Who do you think is the best athlete in Toronto right now?
That's a tough one for me. Best is a interesting word. Anyway, I would, and I can't really comment on the other sports outside of baseball.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to compare them. It's just a different thing. You know what I mean?
It's totally different.
I take Bautista. I think Bautista is one of the best players. Could be one of the best players in the game. Period.
Right.
I think Encarnacion is there as well, but Bautista's power and his ability, defense in the field, and I think he's just a phenomenal, focused, powerful player.
In 5 years, would you say that Laurie might be the best player in Toronto in 5 years? You hope?
I really like. I love Laurie. I love his tenacity. Maybe I could see that. I could see him figuring it all out, and maybe I don't know. Yeah, there's not really anyone like him. He's ferocious, and I love that. That's great for a third baseman. I don't know, yeah, Encarnacion too has just really been shocking this year.
Yeah.
He's really been consistent, and it's people are kind of saying now, he's a real deal. He's not, and he's young as well.
Okay, so one last baseball question, then we'll wrap this up. All right.
Sure.
MVP AL, is it Mike Trout or is it Cabrera?
Ooh,
that's a
tough one.
That is a toughie.
I know Cabrera is close to the Triple Crown.
He is very close to the Triple Crown.
That's tough to argue with.
Yeah.
But Trout has been super exciting, and he's amazing in the field. How many highlight reels have you seen with him?
Yeah, he's on a highlight reel every night.
I don't know. I'd love to see a Triple Crown winner, but I'm pretty. Yeah, it's tough. Trout's one of our angels. So.
Here's the thing.
Let's go with Trout.
Oh.
The young guy. Let's go with the young guy.
Here's the thing, and I'll say this, and then Cabrera is a Triple Crown winner. It's hard to go against that. There's no question. We haven't seen a Triple Crown winner in a long time. Well, I've never seen it.
That would be amazing.
However, Trout, if you look at his statistics and his defense, it's hard to argue what he's done this year, and the fact that he missed a month because he wasn't in the majors. He's doing this as a rookie. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, defense is something you can't really. There's not a whole lot of statistics on that, and it's tough. It's such a major part of the game. Yeah,
there's a stat out there called D-WAR, which is defensive wins above replacement. Anyways, he's second. Yeah. He's second in the league with a 2.4, which is 2.4 wins better than a replacement player would give you. But his offensive numbers is 10 point something, and it's 5 points ahead of the second place guy. Offensively, what he brings to the table is better than anybody.
He's so exciting to watch, and he's a great thing for the game.
And just turning 21 doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Just a kid, and showing all the men how to do it, and that's pretty great. So yeah, I'm rooting for the kid. That'd be great to see a Triple Crown winner as well. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyway, this is an exciting game.
It is. Okay, so once again, your album's coming out next week. You can go to We Are Medallions to get more information. Playing at the Garrison on the 11th.
Garrison, October 11th. Come to the show. Come party with us.
Come party. And we got a late night, 4 a.m.
4 a.m., yeah. 4 a.m. last call, so
get your sleep in.
Sleep in, prepare, shower right before you come out. You feel fresh.
Oh.
You can go right to the door. Yeah, time it perfectly so that you can be there. Everyone out there, just time your lives perfectly. Come to our show. CD release party. We're playing, playing with some great bands. We got a great DJ, Ray Gillespie, who he happens to be a major Mike Trout fan. I will say that he went out and bought a Angels cap and everything this year.
Hilarious. That's funny.
He sports. He's one of Toronto's great DJs. And what's up, Ray? And huge amount of Mike Trout fans. Very excited about him. Anyway.
I think you have to be your baseball fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. be there.
I believe you can get information on We Are Medallions, although it might be just of images. But yeah, look into it online. The band name is Medallions, from Toronto.
All right, great. I guess we'll leave it at that, and thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, Ryan. Always great talking to you.
Take a song for me. It's cutting.